How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video where I'm going to be talking about this NFT-Magic application that I'm building. If you haven't caught up, be sure to go back to the start of the series and watch through it. It's a lot of good information to see how an actual professional software engineer has been doing it for 10 years, kind of designs and lays out how their systems might work, and also shares the implementation details along the way. And as a friendly reminder, please be sure to press that like button. And also, if you're new to this channel, press that subscribe and bell icon to get more notifications or when I publish more parts of this series in the future. I think you'll learn a lot of good stuff watching an actual professional software engineer kind of develop and build a project that could be used by real users. So with all that being said, let me just give you an update with what I've been doing, what I've been building with this application. I don't really have a plan for this talk, but I think there might be some good stuff to kind of talk about. So one thing I've been kind of wrapping my head around is when you're dealing with the Polygon network and when you're dealing with the blockchain in general, typically you can only send like one transaction at a time, right? That first transaction, whether it be transaction 1, I guess we can call it, has to be confirmed before transaction 2 can then be confirmed, right? So in order to do this, especially when I'm building a system that does parallel processing, you imagine I have a bunch of different servers. They're all Lambdas on Amazon, right? And these servers need to keep track of which nonce they need to kind of run the transaction with, right? So a nonce is kind of a unique integer or an incrementing integer that has a unique identifier for my wallet and the transactions that that wallet has done. So again, to build a parallel processing system, I needed to kind of centralize that nonce value and put it somewhere else. So what I did in my system is I decided to put that nonce value in DynamoDB. And before I do any type of transactions, I basically have my minter increment that nonce value on my database, and then I use that value to either mint the NFT or create the contract, okay? And what this allows me to do is I can have all these parallel processing basically send off transactions to the blockchain, and they all have a unique nonce that's auto-incrementing. So at some point, all of these things will get confirmed correctly and put in the right order on the Polygon blockchain, and I don't have to worry about doing one at a time, right? That's how I kind of first did it. And it wasn't working out because then you have collisions, right? You have two transactions trying to use the same nonce value because these wallets are kind of keeping track of state in separate areas. And then your stuff just breaks and then you get like transactions that never finish. So that's one thing I kind of implemented in the system. Another thing I've been spending a lot of time with was just refactoring the minter. I kind of refactored this diagram a little bit, and I do want to share it with you all because I think it's really important to understand the current state of things. So let me walk you through this really quick. Again, the minter is doing a pre-signed URL approach, so the user can go and upload a document to an S3 bucket. And then when that's done, we basically hit a processing endpoint. What this endpoint does is it's going to publish an event on a queue, and I haven't actually implemented this part of the system yet, but it's going to put an event on a queue because by default, Lambda has a 30-second, or not Lambda, the API gateway has a 30-second timeout. So if your request doesn't respond within 30 seconds, API Gateway just kills it and gives you back a 500 error code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have this endpoint just send off an event to an SQS queue. And this allows another Lambda to basically pick it up and process it whenever it wants to. So this logic right here, I'm just going to abstract away into its own worker Lambda that consumes from a queue and just tries to do this batch logic. So I haven't really implemented the queue yet or this line that goes to this, but most of the code here has actually been created. In fact, I should probably make this green because I'm trying to make it so green means that it's been implemented. All right, so this green thing has already been implemented, and honestly, all this logic has been implemented too. So the last thing I really just need to do is just take this, like this event, have it published to a queue, and have this set up in serverless to kind of consume from the queue, generate the NFTs, and zip them up and finally return them to the user. Now I can kind of show you that real quick. Let me just go ahead and refresh my UI. Hopefully this is all working still. But going back to the minter, let me just go ahead and show you a quick little UI change that I did. So if I go to my NFT-Magic layers folder, actually I think it's in the Figma folder, and I go ahead and upload my faces zip. I think this has like 10 NFTs it tries to generate. But this is going to kick off that event, and behind the scenes, this is running on Lambda. It gets split up into multiple workers depending on the size of the zip. And at some point, it's going to finish. And what I did instead is I'm just showing a download button now. I think this is better UX because some browsers have pop-up blockers. So if you just try to open the download the moment it finishes, there's a chance that the browser will block it. So this is better UX because now the user can actually click on it, and their browser kind of notices that, hey, the user interacted with the button, let's just go ahead and download that file. So that's the main change I did with that. And I've also been kind of adding in, let me just go ahead and close this inspector. So I've also been kind of revamping the landing page. Again, this isn't perfect, but I'm trying to make it more, marketing. I don't know what I'm doing with marketing, but most of these components I'm just using that are, baked in to Bootstrap. But I have this little like counter, which is fake right now. It just pretends like stuff's being minted, but it gives the illusion that this system is being used by a lot of people. But I do plan to actually have live numbers whenever people start minting, which I think will be pretty cool. And then I have a features section where I basically kind of explain that everything on this system is hosted on IPFS. There's no coding involved, which is kind of a lie because you do have to modify a JSON file. And then I kind of walk you through like, it's really quick to generate these NFTs because I do all the parallel processing behind the scenes. I think my head might have been blocking that one, and then kind of want to talk about like, I plan to give good quality support. I plan to have a Discord channel that you can kind of join and ask me questions, and I'll try to answer them live for you. And then, speedy minting, all this is parallel processing, so it should be quick. I think these two sections need to be like changed up a little bit. And then tutorials, I plan to host a bunch of tutorials to kind of help users along the way if they're not really familiar with how to create a zip file. And then down here, I have some fake testimonials where I just put some like, this application's great, blah, blah, blah. I just made this stuff up and just put some random images. These are just baked into the component I found, but I do plan to actually put real testimonials if people actually, like this product. Honestly, I don't know if people are going to provide me their headshots, so I might have to just go find some free ones from an API. I believe there's some out there. And then down at the bottom, I have a footer where you can kind of navigate between the minter or the generator. You also have the resources, which I plan to upload a bunch of YouTube videos or like a blog style walkthrough of what you can do and how you can do this stuff. And then I haven't worked on the privacy or terms of service, but those are important on a website because I am taking your NFT images and storing them somewhere. So I want to kind of let you know that like I do clean them up after X amount of time. I don't plan to like do anything with them. I don't plan to resell them. But you do agree that if something goes wrong and, I lose your stuff, I'm not responsible for that. So it's good to have a terms of service and a privacy policy because you are taking information from the user. And I did kind of want to talk about, I've been kind of Googling around and get more ideas. So when you're building a product, it's really good to kind of understand your competition and see what features they're providing users and also how much they're charging. So there's two sites that I found. There's one called ambition.so, which I really like this site. They did a great job with actually like getting this all set up. Good design. Like I don't think I could be able to match this quality, but what I plan to give instead is just a cheaper price point, right? I plan to allow people to just mint, and I'm just gonna take like 5 cents on top of their minting to be able to do this. So let me show you their site. It's really awesome, to be honest, where you can make a collection. I'll just go ahead and click next, but they have a UI where you can actually upload some layers, right? So if I click next here, or let me add like eggs. Oh crap. Let me go back. I messed that up. Let me go ahead and add one called eggs. And then as you add layers, it's actually showing you on the right. Hopefully my head is not blocking that, but it's showing you on the right these layers and how they kind of interact with each other. So I can go here and I can go ahead and just add some backgrounds here. Like I love this design. Whoever did this, like props to them. But you can see you can add like your backgrounds, and then also you can add, just add some eyes here. And you can kind of see how your layers are going to be laid up on top. I'm not going to probably take this full design because this looks like a lot of work, or it might be a lot of work. I don't really know, but I want to add some type of feature where users can easily like upload their files and do all this so they don't have to deal with doing a zip file. Right now, having a user having to like zip their own folder, which has their layers, might be a little bit difficult for people, especially if they're not really tech savvy, but I'm assuming most people in the NFT space are tech savvy. And it's really easy to kind of compile or archive a folder that has all your layers. But I'm just trying to keep that in mind. Like, is this something I want to add in? I might just defer that for now, but I think it might be really useful. And I think they also will mint your contracts for you, but I don't know how well it is. They also charge really a lot of money. So if I wanted to mint this, they're going to charge me like 10 bucks. Let me just go ahead and do next. It's kind of slow too. So I think that's another thing that the application I'm working on can do. Like I can create 10,000 NFTs in about 3 minutes. Whereas I was kind of talking to the person who created some of these sites, and he said that it takes about 50 minutes to generate 10,000 NFTs, right? Which is quite a long time, especially since they're not doing parallel processing on the back end. So you'll see at some point, like this zipping is so slow. Like this entire site is just slow because I don't think they're doing anything in the background. But yeah, I want to show you another one. I think if you try to download this, they charge you like, let me see how much they try to charge you for this. Here you go. They're trying to charge you $10 to download this, right? That's a ripoff. I'll be completely honest with you. Like, this software behind the scenes doesn't really do too much, especially since there's already open source libraries out there like Hashlips NFT art generator that you can download and just do it for free on your laptop, right? And since this site is so slow, it's like, why would I pay money to have you mint it unless I don't understand how to code at all? Which I guess is their selling point. If you don't know how to code, you can just upload your files and you're good to go. Here's another one that I thought was pretty decent. This one's all open source. I don't want to kind of share all of this, but he has all this code hosted, but it's the only issue is GPL 3.0, right? So the issue with GPL is that if I were to use any of this code in my application, I would have to make my code GPL as well, which means that all of you all could kind of view it and see it, which is not what I want to do. So I can't kind of use the code from this project, but I could potentially look through it and get ideas of how they're kind of building out this layers. But honestly, I've been doing React for so long that this won't be an issue for me. I could probably easily create something. I'm not gonna connect my wallet for all this, but yeah, that's kind of the idea. I've been looking through kind of some competition, get some ideas about what I could do, but I think I might defer that for now and just allow people to upload a zip and just see if people actually do it. If no one actually tries to upload a zip to create their NFTs, then it's like, why even continue on this project? But I am having a lot of fun just building out and designing these systems and just showing you the process along the way. So if you enjoyed watching me kind of talk and ramble about this project, give me a thumbs up right now because it helps my video be promoted by the YouTube algorithm. Also, be sure to subscribe and press that bell icon if you want more videos like this in the future, because I promise they're going to help you become a better web developer or software engineer. And like always, be sure to leave a comment below if you have a feature or something you want me to add to this project. There's a lot of stuff I could potentially add, but I'm kind of curious to hear what people watching my videos have to say. So like always, have a good day and happy coding.